This is Jay Bills for Media Spotlight UK, and I'm sitting very, very comfortably with my homegirl, Banksy, Miss Banks. What
Hello.
on?
Nothing much, you alright?
I'm good.
Bass beat, handy, fresh tea, on fleek, on fleek, on fleek, on fleek, on fleek.
Now, there's a lot to talk about here. Now, since the last interview last year,
Yeah.
it was an introduction about you. Now, you just released Fleek,
Fleek on fleek.
which for those that don't know, we were there for the behind the scenes. So for those that need to check it out underneath my finger. So you'll see it right in the middle. So link in there, check it out. Why did you think of Fleek anyway? Because most tracks that I've heard from before, like, was very, very edgy, very in your face, whereas this time it's a bit more sexy. Like, why did you decide you wanted to do that?
Well, it kind of came to me naturally when I wrote the hook. And I wrote the hook first, so I based the rest of the song around it, and which obviously was Fleek. And it was for the girls this time. I felt like I've said a lot in general about my life and relate to, just being about me, and then I've tried to relate to other people. And also I used to always consider like guys when I do my music. I always think as much as I want the girls on my side, I want the men to be able to listen to it. But I thought, no, this time I'm going to make something solely for the girls,
Right.
and just something they can get ready to go out to, turn up to, and just feel sexy, like how I feel.
There's nothing wrong with
most
feeling
days.
sexy, is there? Do you know what? I've actually been waiting for that as well. Like, obviously, I know you're sexy already. Like,
Thank you.
there's no denying that anyway. Like, even from the first time I met you,
Zaddy.
I was just like, you know what I mean? This girl here, I swear down. But literally, like, it's nice that you've taken like a almost different direction. And I've played it at work as well. And you know what? A lot of people are rating it as well.
I love that.
And do you know what the joke thing is here? My manager actually rates you. He actually wanted your number
Wow.
on spot. When he saw
But
the
number
video,
for what though?
No, he wanted your number.
Not even for business.
No, not even.
Damn, well, it's good you didn't give it out then. Because I be telling, don't call my phone.
No, I didn't give him it, but he rated you completely. Like, he was like, who's this Miss Banks? I was like, and I showed him the video, and he was just like, you know what, I've fallen in love already. Like,
Aww.
so like, he's cool about that. So just say, yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, like, appreciate this now.
I see you, manager.
Now, on Instagram, like, based on the Fleet video, I actually seen that Roxanne had made a comment. You know who Roxanne is?
Yeah, she did.
She made a comment.
Roxanne's
And she
beautiful.
said, now, here's the thing, yeah. My honest opinion about Fleek is that it is a banger to me. Like, out of all the stuff you've done, yeah, you created bangers, but this is like the banger that needs to be out there even more. And I thought about it the other day, and I'm thinking to myself, if you were able to produce enough traffic for that video, that you should do a remix. What would your thoughts be on a remix? Because I believe it could be done if done the right way.
Yeah, definitely a remix could happen. I'm a bit weird when it comes to hollering at people for features, but yeah, I would do one, and it would be all girls, obviously.
Trust me.
Probably like I'll get singers as well, not just rappers. Yeah, it could happen, 100%. I'm not gonna lie. The reaction I've got from Fleek was unexpected. I did think it was good, because anything I decide to put out, I think is good. But like when I'm working on stuff, I hear it over and over again, and I think I get tired of it before the public hears it.
That's true.
So by the time everyone else hears, I'm like, oh yeah, Fleek, cool.
Yeah,
But
because you want to move on to the next project and make it even more bigger.
But yeah, a remix would be good, 100%.
Now, Roxanne says she wants in on it. She
Did
commented
she?
and said she wants in on it. Like, she said,
She said, do you know what? Okay, no, I don't remember. Yeah, but she did say something. Yeah, she did say something along those lines.
yeah. So
If I did a remix, I think.
So as I was saying, like, Roxanne wants in. So
Hey Roxanne,
all right,
pretty
so
girl.
put it in for work.
I do like her. She knows I follow her still.
Yeah?
Man.
Have you spoken to her?
Since then? No, I saw the comment a bit late. To be fair,
Yeah.
so I don't really reply to people on Instagram comments. I'm a bit weird. I don't know why that is. I don't know.
I mean, you do a little bit. Like, I have seen, like, after so many people commented, because I've seen on Instagram, like, you get flooded with comments, like,
Yeah.
even down to industry folk that I know of and I've met as well. Like, they're on you. Like,
It's crazy.
how do you feel with that reaction, knowing that a couple of years ago you were starting out, and all of a sudden, like, everyone in the industry, like the UK industry, like industry folk, want to fuck with you, basically?
Yeah, like no, you said that with some passion, boy.
I'm telling you, no, for real.
I appreciate it. Like I've always thought, like, you see, I don't know how like a lot of people think, but as a girl, people think I appreciate it, but it was like, oh, like if they say they think maybe if they call me the best female rapper, I'm just like, woo, hey. But I've always felt like I want to be the best, not just out of girls, out of man them as well. Like it's male dominated, you know what I mean?
Trust me.
And I love it when people show me recognition and I see that people really fuck with me, especially sick lyricists like Avelino and Wretch and Big Toe, do you know what I mean? And there's so much more, but like, yeah, I'm just grateful, and I've always got something to prove, and I've still got things to prove. So it's just like, yeah, it just adds to the people that are really fucking with me, that's on the wave, and yeah, just got to do more, push more.
Trust me, because I know that you're bringing that sort of crisp material now. Like from your last mixtape, like there was 1 or 2 tunes, in my honest opinion, that I was feeling, and obviously, like I've seen in one of your interviews that you feel cringe about your last mixtape so much now. And obviously,
I skip some tracks when I listen to it now.
Seriously, and it's your own material, like.
Yeah, but I worked on it for ages. Like, this is the difference with me, yeah, and certain artists. A lot of people that came out they've prepped themselves before they came out. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I kind of worked on myself in the spotlight. No pun intended. But, you know, like, no, I worked on myself in the spotlight. Like, I always felt like if I was going to wait till I was ready, I was never going to start doing music. So I just went for it. Even when I wasn't that confident and I wasn't that great at it, I was good, but I could have been better because I'm getting better. Do you know what I mean? And when everyone heard that mixtape that I dropped end of 2014, I was working on that material from the beginning of 2013. So...
Wow.
It was
couple of years to lead to that.
Yeah, and in the 18 tracks that's on there, you can hear the different levels of confidence and where I found my voice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why it's cringe. Yeah, that's the only reason why I think it's cringy. But yeah, I'm still happy with it. And when I listen back to it and think of the bangers, that there's some songs on there like Get It, DOY, Say What, that never got coverage. Do you know what I mean? They never really got to get to their full potential. So yeah, it's a weird one. I did have a couple bangs on there, but yeah, it was a bit funny. Some things that was just it basically. I was working in the spotlight and I was working on my craft out there, so my mixtape is kind of evident.
Now, I've seen a certain artist that's been made a tweet and gets like... now, I've seen that he totally rates you.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the comment that he made, and he said, Miss Banks is putting on for the beautiful black women who have been called ugly by their brothers. Trust me, I love it. Now, here's the thing, like I agree with Gets, because for me personally, I have a certain preference for women. Like, not that I'm discriminating any woman.
Yeah.
Like, any woman that I will go out with, regardless of race, creed, or culture. You know, I have a preference. But for you now, on the other hand, Jay, as soon as I first met you, I was like, you know what? You've won me over.
Aww.
You won me over completely as like a sexy, strong, black female girl.
Amen.
You know the one. So
thank you.
So are you going to be one of them girls that's going to be like pushing for more black women to be recognized in that way, knowing that, you know, predominantly there's other races that are looked at? I'm not trying to go so political here, but like in your case, like you're being looked at regardless of, you know, you got talent, you look sexy, but are you representing, you know, those black female artists on the come up like yourself?
Yep. Every single one of them. Every single. Like, you see, for me, like, I was explaining this to someone the other day, like, no matter where I go, I'm representing for black women just by the colour of my skin. Do you know what I mean? So, like, there's little things like people think, oh, black girls have got attitude. When I used to work in retail, I used to be, not like I don't love any other race, but I used to be extra polite to the black girls just so I could show them, look, I'm an example of a black girl that's not rude. I'm an example of a black girl that hasn't got an attitude. Yeah. And as much as I can be strong and assertive in some ways, I'm going to carry myself in a nice way day to day, because just that one encounter you have with me is going to change your thoughts on us girls. Do you know what I mean? Even if you're a black girl yourself. And I do feel like, I'm carrying a torch in some type of way. Like, a lot of people may not agree with me looking sexy, being flamboyant, showing skin. I understand, do you know what I mean? But I feel like as long as I do it in a classy way, because I'm ratchet anyway, I can do what I want to do. And for me, like, obviously we've got beautiful black girls in the scene. Like, there's Leash, there's Little Sims, regarding to female rappers. But like, I want to be able to just be me as much as I can be. So if I feel like I want to be sexy one day, I'm allowed to be sexy as a woman. I'm going to use every asset I have, not just physically, well, obviously physically, but not just physically on the outside, including my mind, obviously, because I rap and I write whatever. But
Of course,
I'm going to use
of course.
every asset I have to be someone, to be something big. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And for me, don't feel like I've seen a female rapper from the UK really be sexy and just embrace that and do your thing. Obviously, I know it doesn't always work because like when you're trying to pass a certain message, you don't want to look like that or you don't want to do too much because people might not listen. But like if I can work it, I will. And at the same time, I'm very conscious. I'm very smart. Well, I like to think so. So I'm going to exercise it every way. I do feel like I'm representing for black girls 100%.
Man, hallelujah. If a brother want war, nigga, I'ma bring it to ya. And if they wanna snake me, I act like I never knew ya. That boy Big Sean, man, we all about the moolah. All about the moolah.
Speaking of Hallelujah, because you actually invited us to come down to do behind the scenes, but I wasn't available at the time. But I've heard about it, I've seen the video, and what's interesting is that you took it to a church.
Yeah.
But when you're rapping, you got curse words in there still.
I do.
So how are you able to combat that? Because obviously, like, church is like a religious place. No one really like swears in there. So, like,
Yeah.
how did you make it work for
People
you?
got at me, boy.
Sorry.
People did get at me. Not that much though.
No.
Because I'm yeah.
but it was kind of a risky move, but it worked because obviously people have given positive comments on your part. But what made you decide, right, Hallelujah, I want to do it in a church? Why did you think that area?
Well, the concept is based on religion, so I thought, why not take it to a religious place? And like there was a group on Facebook that put my video in their group, some Christian group, and they was getting at me, but like I'm not gonna understand it because you are religious. Does that make sense? And I'm not religious, so some people might think, whoa, that's even weirder. Why did you go to a church?
But I know that you're a spirit, like you have spirit about you, though.
I'm very spiritual.
Yeah.
I believe in. I've got my beliefs, yeah, and I've got morals, so I'm jiggy. But I used to like that. Funny enough, that exact church I shot in, I was christened in when I was 1 year old.
Swear.
So it's got an emotional sentiment to it. It does.
To
It does.
do it.
It does. But yeah, I just thought take it to the church because of the concept. And like a lot of people, like I'll never disrespect anyone's religion, and I know people are Christian and all of that. One thing I will say is that I recorded the song on a clean version, so I was miming a lot of the curse words. I didn't really say it.
Hey, so you didn't really say it.
As much as it's a church, it was a business aspect for me because one, I paid for the church to shoot there, like you would do for any venue.
That makes all sense now.
Or like, do you know what I mean? Any studio you would go to, it was very business like. It wasn't business like, it was business. Do you understand?
For sure.
So. And
it's
obviously I'm
just
not
like
Christian, so
hiring a venue,
yeah.
like anywhere, it's the same thing.
It's like me renting out a studio to shoot a video. Like,
true.
do you know what I mean? But yeah, I still respected it anyway. In a sense, I weren't doing no stupidness in there, and I weren't effing and blinding.
No, I did see that. It looked like you were holding your own whilst giving your message out as you needed to.
But I did feel the church was a good idea.
Awesome. Now I've got to say, Tinie Tempah. We've got to we'll talk about that because I don't think no one's really talked about it as much yet. Now you're featured on the Junk Food mixtape, Been the Man, featuring Stormzy and JME. Now I've heard the track and you went in. You were the last on the track. I thought like, okay, cool. You got JME, you got Stormzy on the hook, and when it came to you, I was like, Bomba Clot. You went ham for Tinie, So like how did you get hold of Tinie in the first place? And obviously you went to the launch party as well for Junk Food. You performed there as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
So how did that relationship come, and how is it working with Tinie? Like, give us a brief overview.
So I met Tinie at the Mobos. I was invited.
Was that last year or the year before?
Last year, 2015.
Okay.
So just the one that's just passed.
Oh, just gone. Yeah.
I met him at the Mobos. He was just mad, crazy, like. I don't even know what's mad yet. It's not off subject, but it's a bit off subject. But like, what is the weird thing? Yeah, what the weird thing is? Sorry.
Right.
I had an interview on the 2nd of November.
Right.
With STV and a girl called Pav.
Yes,
and
I did see that interview.
She asked me who I want to feature with.
Right.
She suggested Stormzy, and I said, yeah, I would love to work Stormzy. Love Stormzy when he's cold.
Of course.
And then I said Wretch 32, and I said Tinie, and I was banging on about Tinie in the interview. Then the interview came out on the 3rd of November. Then I went to the Mobos on the 4th of November, and then that's when I met him. And it's just all scary for me because it's like, but obviously Anyway,
Yeah.
real people know what's good in it.
No,
I
you
don't know what that was,
good.
but
You
like,
know what's good. Yeah.
yeah, but like, it was just mad. Anyway, I met him at the Mobos, so thank God for that. I met him at the Mobos. Yeah, he said I was good. He saw one of my videos. I shot the Get Back, near
Which
his
we
studio.
were there for as well, behind the scenes. Check it out.
Me, the spotlight done the behind the scenes for that.
Done
yeah.
now.
I don't know if he saw the video anyway, and it was just right next to one of his studios. We called that the his main studio, and yeah, he just hollered at me. I didn't get to record in the booth with him, so when I went to go record my verse, he wasn't actually there, but he still kept in contact, and like, I didn't know what to expect after I met him, but he still like reached out to me, which is major because I wouldn't expect Tinie to be reaching out to me.
Tinie where he is now, like, obviously there's all this stuff between, Tinie and Chip and Bugsy and all that sort of stuff, but taking that away, like, literally to have Tinie in your corner, and I mean, obviously you're on a come up, you're a talented female, and for him to reach you, that means there's recognition there. You know what I mean? He recognizes what's going on.
I thank God for it. Like, no one knows. I keep on saying it. I don't even know if he knows, but I rate Tinie highly, like so highly, like so. Woo! It's amazing. It's amazing. Like, it's amazing.
Touch if it don't hit, I'm a flip, I won't say much. I'm trying to do it for the girls who like to stay. But trophy girl, you deserve a couple medals. Never fell less you settle, shining bright like a bezel. Packing a bit of bass, don't really fuck with the treble. Rather than wake and bake, make banana powder settle. Yes girl, work it, you're on a different thing. First track, it's a rap, no food in the cling. I know you're listening.